Alright, hello everybody, Skyrain here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. It is that time again to revisit Erebban. We're going to be revisiting Erebban. I'm going to cover the build I know I use on Wizard, and a couple things that I found in testing on my Demon Hunter alt, because I do know that there are certain classes that have more advantages than others. In this case, of course, being like Satyr, probably the horse, Wizard, of course, with Sprite Spark, that kind of thing, and Tempest with a bunch of dashes, that whatever, and have you to make mobility. Any class that has the most mobility possible is what you want to be running when doing Erebban. Now, I did help somebody out recently, which is kind of what pushed me to want to do this video again and refresh and revisit this, because I have done one in the past. Now, I will show currently what the build is on Wizard first, and then we'll go from there. Oh, but first, let's go ahead and talk about a couple things. Battle Pass will be ending soon, so if you're watching this now or whenever you're watching this one, be sure to claim all your stuff all the time this week, because it will end around the time we'll get a patch update, of which we didn't get, unfortunately, any new notes. They just rehashed the old notes, and all they added to it was a little side note about the time change in the states, that kind of thing, that will be being adjusted, fortunately, when the maintenance happens. So that's all they did. They just rehashed the old set of notes, which I was highly disappointed in, but I would expect, honestly, nothing less from the devs at this point when it comes to that stuff. Unfortunately, they might slip out something here in a little while. They may not. I don't know. But anyway, nonetheless, let's get back into this. Talking Erebban, this one is best to do solo. I just did it with another person to help them, because the other reason I wanted to bring this up was the Feast of Vality, which this will probably be, as soon as this one ends, we will get another monthly event here with the same format, of course, and the same things to do for tasks. This one I could finish out, but I'm already capped, and I won't have enough points anyway to get the extra bonus chest at the end here. It says, for every additional 50 points, you will be rewarded with a milestone. I don't know what's in these, because I didn't accrue enough points to get the additional 50 points, because all I can squeeze out now at this point would be another 20 points, and that would still be under... I mean, that would take me to 1150, yes, but it's not an additional, because the maximum here was 1120. So that's why it's not going to happen. All right, long about way, sorry about this. Get back around to the Erebban. So if you were just looking for that in particular here, of course you can skip ahead. That's up to you and at your fingertips, right? So, Castle Erebban. This is best to do single. This is a solo one to do. Way easier, because it does scale. Whenever you do more players in your party, it takes longer to build up that progression bar while you're inside. And to that effect, I didn't really find out exactly how much of a difference it makes, but it did feel a little bit more, it did take a little bit longer to build that bar up, so I was like, aha, it does scale. And also, once you open the chest for the avatar of Diablo to show up, it can be bad depending on where you're at in regards to your other teammates, because sometimes the avatar will spawn near wherever they open the big chest and you might be away from it, and then lo and behold, you'll be like, oh, I'm literally behind the 8 ball at this point and trying to catch up, and then next thing you know, the avatar's either on top of you or in front of you that you have to get around at that point, and it kind of does suck. So it is way easier to do this one solo, as far as this is concerned. Now, Abyssal Verge, on the other hand, I would suggest definitely doing a party, because then you can go and split 2 and 2, spread out the map, and cover more ground. A little side note on that one. All right, so as for the Wizard build, what I run in there is the crest headpiece. The Sprite Spark is your key component here out of all of this. Of course it is. With also Frenetic Spark to go along with the Sprite Spark, so all the sparks combined. These are the two most important parts right here, above all else, because, well, unfortunately, with the introduction of Sprite Spark at the time, they made its beneficial effect duration to, well, and any beneficial effect duration you have to it to get that 100% uptime is always a plus, which you need the Frenetic Spark for that purpose. because when they introduced Sprite Spark, they gave it a low uptime. So they added this one alongside with it on purpose, so you have to use these two in tandem. Alright, so there's that, and I put on Filter Defense, Shoulders, Raptor's Tail, Scour Cut for a larger radius, and also a more damage on Disintegrate, and I put on the Trifling Piffle as well. So that is the long and short of it right there with the essences. Don't really worry about the set pieces so much, but what does matter on top of all that, for all classes I would suggest in this one, I run Harbinger. Or Harbinger? Yeah, Harbinger. Let's see. So I run this third of the tree here, the whole side. And for dash skill cooldowns, which I use Teleport, recover 10% faster. So like in the case of even Demon Hunter, I'll show you my Demon Hunter, my baby alt Demon Hunter in a second. And I say baby because burning through levels on it, but still way behind on everything else. And I'm trying to just play catch up with it, because I just decided to give it some more time recently. But yeah. Let's see. Increase your movement speed by 3% for 5 seconds when you kill a monster, staying up to 15%. So while you're in there, you're not really going for kills so much. You're going for opening all the chests. But it does help when you get them to give you a little bit of a speed boost. Critical hit chance bonus from Savage Urge increases from 10 to 20% of your movement speed. So you're going to be racking up movement speed while you're doing this anyway. Critical hit chance increases by 10% of your movement speed. That's just, this stuff all kind of just synergizes is all. This one's really key here, however, though. You move unhindered through monsters and barriers or traps created by skills. So any of those ones that love to do those, you know, those walls, the wall elite mob packs, you'll just pass right through it with ease. You won't even have to stop. And that's the key point in this build, especially for doing Erebban runs, because it's just nothing but run and open chests, ignore the monsters, clear them only when you have to, that kind of thing. So there is that. I'll go ahead and do one run really quickly on my wizard here to show what it looks like with this particular build. Again, other classes, you know, you just put on all your best movement abilities possible and go at it. Some will have an easier time than others. And right now, there's no mobs in the first part of this castle, so I don't even really have to pop all my skills. It's just a force of habit sometimes. Basically, I'll just pop Sprite Spark constantly. As soon as it falls off, I pop it again. So I'm constantly matching that skill. Now, you can also go for level 8 danger level, but it literally just adds about like another minute to your run time, and it's not really worth it, especially if you're spamming this. So I would just go for the 6, grab the big chest, get in, get out, that kind of thing. Now there's mobs here, so I will start to put my little mobile rings on, which on Satyr would be even more of a cakewalk because of the satellite dish size rings that Satyr gets, or circles that Satyr gets to use. So compared to most other classes, I know Necro gets circles that are about just the same size with ease too, and even Tempest, they're oh, I passed up a bunch. I'm gonna go back here, honestly. Let's go ahead and grab these. This castle's interesting because they kind of RNG'd this one for sure. Usually you get one direct path and you get a bunch of dead ends, but in this case I got multiple options, so which is nice for the variety of it when you're running a bunch of these in one day. Alright, the big chest has appeared because we got the danger level 6. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab that one and get out of here. Where is it? Oh, okay, I gotta go around the other way. So let's go up here. I'll grab a few more just because I'm on the way there, and pop it and go. Alright. Fire doors are a pain sometimes. Just have to avoid that as best you can. And sometimes, even on Wizard, you can teleport through those barrier doors and not even open them, which is very advantageous. Alright, there we go. And took a little bit of damage from just some stuff, but I'm not too fussed about it. And we are out. Like that. So there you go, there's the run. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop over to my Demon Hunter alt really quickly and show some other things that would help with movement speed that kind of surprised me, because my baby alt Demon Hunter is, you know, doesn't really have that many essences, doesn't really have a lot of stuff built on it, so it's a work in progress still, and it's just kind of something I just kind of play around with when I get just to change of pace. So we're going to go ahead and do that here in a second. Be right back. Alright, so back in my Demon Hunter now, just for a little side note of things, because it does have a piece of gear that is very helpful when it comes to running an Erebban, which I did not realize I had, and did not realize it was a thing. I thought it was something that Erebban had inherently in it. Little did I know, whenever I was opening a chest, I would get a little speed burst. Okay, and what is that caused by? That is caused by right here, this magic affix. So if you're having still trouble and you happen to find a piece of gear like this, I would hold on to it, slap it on for a reason, or even re-roll if you have the power to enchant your gear. If you want to roll, if you're having trouble depending on what class you have, you know, it's like I said, it's easier for some others. It's just how it is, mobility wise. But if you really are, this one really helps. Movement speed increased by 12% for 5 seconds after opening chests. I happen to just get one piece of this. So, and then I even have this one, movement speed increased by 5 seconds after killing a monster. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. And it looks like I have, wait, 1 of 4. So do I have multiple pieces? I might have multiple pieces. I didn't even realize. That's 1 of 4. Do I have one on right now? Do I have one on right now by chance? I didn't see that till just now. It's clandestine. Movement speed increased after opening. Oh, I do. I do. Pants. Pants, and this is a chest. So yeah, I got a 2. I'll have a 2 out of 4 bonus whenever I put this back on again. So whenever I do the Erebban runs on my alt baby Demon Hunter here, I would probably slap this piece back on again and go off to the races that way. It does definitely help because I don't really have that many good essences on this character right now, and it is also way behind on their secondaries because obviously I don't grind as hard in my normal gems for that. And a little side note again at the end of this, whenever you're doing like your main characters, mind you, the big to do and the big suggestion I have after finding this out on my alts here, of course, and when you find out that your secondaries are everything. As you can see here, I am way behind. I'm in Inferno 2 in this character. Now, granted, the level on this character is able to go into Inferno 4 even at this point, at 600, yeah. But there's no way on this character I am going to remotely go into those difficulties yet, even though it's like, oh, you will get a reduced in rewards, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. This character's behind on all their secondaries, so on this character, my main focus is whenever I do play it, I try to get, you know, as many party gems, weekly gems, what have you, to try to play catch up for a little bit to where these are a little bit more in line. When they're below, you will definitely notice the damage drop off, and it'll slow your progress really, really, really badly. So, of course, on your main characters, everybody, you really won't notice this anyway. So, well, it's just something to keep in mind, keep track of. That's why I'm not progressing up in the difficulties as much, because I will hit worse than a wet noodle. Anyway, little side note there, but yeah, if you're having trouble with mobility classes and doing Erebban runs and want some other advantages here, this is definitely a nice thing to have for a magic affix if you happen to pick a piece up or what have you. So, anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of everything said here. I just wanted to do a rehash video on the Erebban overall and revisit it for the sake of, obviously, like I said, that the events that we have now and the daily tasks whenever it comes to right here, Erebban and Verge. This one, obviously, I'm not going to do the other ones. This is my alt, but the danger level in Erebban is a thing. Escape one time in Erebban, reach level 6. So that should hopefully help everybody out in the process of all of this. Anyway, until next time, everybody, stay safe out there in the real world. And as always, take care of yourselves as best you can, one day at a time. It's all we can do. It's the best we can do. Until next time, see you.